Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I want to talk to you about the changes that were dropped over the weekend, which are coming in the kind of next patch sequence. So there was a big announcement that was dropped. It was actually when I was just traveling, so I wasn't able to get on it straight away as I normally do. But they're pretty much trying to sum up the changes around the XP barrel, the feasts, BOMMAL especially. So we're going to go into BOMMAL with some detail, and then talking about a couple of other bits as well. So we're going to start with the other stuff, and then we're going to get to BOMMAL at the end, because that's going to be the big one that people want to understand what's actually changing. So they talk about the feast and the barrel, pretty much like I summed up in my last video. These are not the quality of life changes for the tavern. That's going to be coming probably next year. As I said in my last video, I don't understand in my head why they wouldn't drop those two things together to give us both the positive and the pay win. Like, I'm comfortable with them putting pay to win stuff in, right? We need it in the game. If people are not paying for stuff in the game doesn't get developed, there is no game. So, but I always kind of want it to come alongside a change which is not about people buying stuff or kind of just like fast tracking the game, something which improves the game at the same time. So it's just disappointing the way they've released it, but it is what it is. So let's go on to BOMMAL in a second. They're talking about here clan versus clan. So there's going to be personal rewards in the next one. I still feel like they got the name of them around the wrong way. Does it matter? Not really. If you win your fight, you're going to get some rewards as the personal ones. It seemed to me like the personal rewards in the last setup were not weighted high enough to make me give a damn, honestly. So you'll get a few more bits if you win, if you whale out hard, or if you push all your resources hard. I don't think they're worthwhile as we've seen it so far. Might be better next time round. We will see. A new game-changing feature, the Guardian Ring. So this is the dupe system, the 3 different things that they spoke about in their video a month or so ago. That comprises several ways to apply your dupes. It's coming in 4.9, so that's going to be December patch. And they've also talked about Hydra coming this year. It may well be that Hydra is pushed back. Let's make sure I've not missed something about Hydra up here. Don't think so. So it feels like patch 4.9 is shaping up to be a really juicy patch. We're going to have a Christmas fusion. We always do. We're going to have the dupe system coming in, and maybe the Hydra boss as well, all in the same patch. So no wonder we've had such a small patch this time round. That could be a massive, massive patch, 4.9. Watch this space, I guess. Oh, one more thing. What's this here? There's a promo code. So Real Hell is the promo code, guys. If you haven't done it yet. In fact, I have not done it on my main account. Crazy enough. I've done it on my free-to-play. I was like straight on it on the free-to-play. But Real Hell gets you some juicy rewards if you've not done it yet. Gets you a nice chunk of energy, some books, a bit of silver. So get involved. There's only, I think you've got until the 26th of November to do that. So if you're watching this up until the 26th, get that done. Okay. Was there anything else in here? Not really, not really. Okay, so on to BOMMAL then. So what's changed on BOMMAL? Couple of things, actually. It feels like there's a bit of a nerf in terms of some of the damage that he's going to do and some of his skill set. There's also a bit of a change, which could well be a buff. And Saf from HH Gaming has done a different video in detail on what that's going to do on the HH Gaming channel, which I will link and pin below. But let's get into what they actually talk about in the patch notes, which was, weirdly, this link that says 4.7, even though it's 4.8. So they talk about, in the patch notes, BOMMAL the Dreadhorn's Magma Flood skill no longer goes on cooldown when HP burn debuffs are activated by Ruinous Crush skill, which is the A1. So basically, the A2 has been going on cooldown when we've been applying the A1. So if you do want to kind of know what any of this stuff does, on the hellhades.com website, we've got loads of stuff on the Doom Tower. We've got about the secret rooms, the rotations, the bosses. So you can come into the bosses guide. These have all been updated relatively recently now to have a lot more information and the most up-to-date strats in them. So really good information here if you just want to kind of understand what the different bosses do. But you can come into the BOMMAL guide, and as it stands, it was last updated September the 8th. The A1, Ruinous Crush, attacks all enemies decreases bomb duration by 1 turn, and activates an HP burn debuff on a target. So you take that kind of chunk of damage because HP burn is activated. Now, what this was doing was it was actually putting the A2 on cooldown if there was HP burns out there. So it was like a bug in the system, basically. So they fixed the bug, but what that's meant is that Magma Flood will be off of cooldown every 3 turns, like it should be. And this is quite a nasty ability. So AoE again, they've actually got the same multipliers in the hit. So they hit for the same base damage as it stands, unless they change something. Places an HP burn debuff on all enemies for 3 turns. So just basically means there's going to be more HP burns floating around. Enemies receive 100% more damage from the HP burn debuffs for each bomb they were under. So again, nasty stuff if there's a bunch of bombs out in the fight. So just be aware of it. It's going to change up the fight a little bit. I don't know if we're going to take significantly more damage because this skill already hit hard. And obviously it was activating the burn. So that was applying more damage. But this still just means there's going to be more burns out there in the fight throughout the length of the fight. You probably would have taken previously a lot of early damage. And then if you could sustain the early damage, the fight got gradually easier beforehand. Once you got it under control, you're actually in a better spot. Whereas now, it's going to be that same burst of damage you get at the start is going to come in waves every 3 turns. So just kind of watch out for this change. It's a kind of buff to BOMMAL, in my opinion. You just need to be able to manage it. The one thing I will say is you can cleanse HP burns off. So if you've got a way of cleansing those off with the normal type of characters, then clearly that's going to help you take less damage from the rest of his kits. So that's one change that's gone on. Another change that they mention here in the notes, this is kind of nice. It's almost where I suggested they should get it. It's almost there. Damn, so damn close. So they're basically saying here, we want to temper his damage. Yeah, we want to tame his explosive temper somewhat. Okay, good, because people were getting stuck on like level 10. It's like that. We can't do any of the Doom Tower Valerium. So they kind of they've at least acknowledged that that's not right. People should be able to get through the first. If they were getting to level 50 before, they shouldn't now get to level 10 and be stuck. Not right. So they have changed it a bit. They've said here, we will decrease some of his stats on all stages on normal difficulty and so all of normal and the 10th stage of hard. What does that mean? Well, his bombs are scaling through his attack. So it might be that his bombs now do less damage to us because they might lower his attack. We don't know the answer, by the way. We don't know what stats they've changed. They might change his speed slightly, potentially. But it looks like it's base stats that they're changing here for all of normal and the 10th stage of hard. The chance of his passive skill that used to stun a player will be halved. So it used to be a 50%. If you check the hellhades.com right now, basically, where is it? Yeah, so this passive here, Pressure Wave. Bombs can't be blocked or anything like that or removed. So they're gonna pop. They're gonna pop on you. Each time a bomb detonates, currently 50% chance to stun the whole team. This is one of the things that I said was just ridiculous. It was like, as soon as one bomb was going off, the chances are your whole team was just locked out for the rest of the fight and you just died. It was so frustrating to constantly get that stun off. Stun. Unless you were blocking that debuff in some way or had a Doom Priest to cleanse it off once it started to go off, you were just in serious trouble. So he's saying, or they're saying now that this is going to be a 25% chance to stun your whole team. So instead of 1 in 2 going down, it's 1 in 4. It's definitely a good change. It's a good change, and I think it's probably the right level of RNG. Maybe I would have even made it 20%. Like one of your team should take a stun rather than, but still, 25% is significantly better than 50%. And it reads to me like this, and we don't have any clarification right now, by the way, but it reads to me like that's going to happen everywhere, not just all of normal and stage 10 of hard. It reads like that's just happening. So that's a good change, because I think that was a silly kind of mechanic within BOMMAL. So it says here, on top of that, BOMMAL will become more vulnerable to the damage bombs do to him. So we all thought this was going to be the chance to get those bomb champions out of the vault. Didn't happen that way. The bomb, even taking 200% more damage, shows how crap bombs are in this game, by the way. Other than in Arena, bombs have no current place in the game. And even if you times it by 200%, there was still only one viable bomb strat that I saw at any point, and that was like using 3 astroliths in some crazy, crazy team, which I don't even understand and never got to work. I didn't try, to be fair, but I never actually saw it working, so I didn't really get what was going on. But it was a meme team rather than a legit team. Okay, so let's hope. I mean, they might need to at least double the damage again. It might need to be 400% to make bombs viable. Will they do that? We will see when the numbers come out, I guess. I hope they do. I hope bombs do become a relevant place in the game, because right now, you get these bomb champions. They all hit really hard, by the way. Their base hits are tough, but they don't follow through with anything worthwhile. So we will see if that is going to be worthwhile in the future. So that's it, really. They didn't change the one thing which I hope they were going to change. And one of the things which I suggested was for the earlier stages of normal and stage 10 of hard, the dread bombs shouldn't do the same level of damage all the way through. It seems to me like that's nuts. Dread bombs should scale as BOMMAL scales, in my opinion. So level 10 normal, instead of it hitting, is it 40 or 50% of your health? Let me just check. It's a nuts amount of your health. 40% of your health. Instead of it hitting for 40, I think it should have been hitting for 20% of your health. Then you get to stage 50, and maybe it goes up to 30%, and you get up to stage 90, and it goes up to the 40%. That's what I think it should have done, because it's still this kind of crazy scaling right from the start. You start to drop some dread bombs on yourself, and you are dead. And the other thing which I wish they would change, I still hope they do, watch this video and think, oh yeah, that makes some sense. The Mastery, Evil Eye, which pushes back turn meter, I just wish that Mastery would not create a dread bomb. Because so many, I found this big time on my free-to-play, and it's going to be the same again now, because I've changed Mastery since then. So many of my champions on the free-to-play rely on Evil Eye as a great Mastery to help me through everywhere else in the game. Almost, not everywhere, but 95% of the game requires me to take Evil Eye. If you have Evil Eye on BOMMAL, you are surrounded by dread bombs and dead within seconds, which means you either need to take a whole separate team into BOMMAL, or you need to redo their masteries just for the BOMMAL fight, which I think is pretty dumb. So I like the fact that there's this kind of turn meter mechanic in there. You can't bring just a normal turn meter controllers. I like it, okay? I don't like that the mastery is proccing the same thing, and the fact that you have to change your mastery on everyone that's using it, or bring a whole separate team. Doesn't feel right. So that's kind of my take on it. It feels like a semi-nerf stroke semi-buff. Like, I really don't know where this is going to go. It might just be that it plays. It might be a bit like Geomancer. Geomancer, was he nerfed? Was he buffed? In the end, he still kicks out a ton of damage, and he's still viable in most teams, but you might just have to slightly change the way you play with him. So I feel like BOMMAL's going to be pretty much the same. He's going to be a little bit easier for those first few early levels. He then scales up to be an absolute beast still. You might have to slightly tweak the way you encounter him, but ultimately, he's going to be the same freaking beast. I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.